Hey Brad, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great. How about yourself?
Doing well, thanks for asking.
Sure.
So last time we met, we talked about setting some goals, and I wanted to see if you had come up with any that you wanted to work on.
Yeah, I've got three major goals right now that I'm trying to decide which one to focus, prioritize on. But the first would be putting aside some savings. Um, would also like to pay off some credit card debt, and then hopeful thinking I'm looking at purchasing my first home.
Okay. So as we kind of look through your goals, I wanted to walk you through this tool, and it's basically going to help kind of break down the steps in order to accomplish those goals.
Okay.
So the first one would be to really kind of what you just did, kind of go through just what your hopes are and what your wants are. And we're going to kind of have two different categories for that. So one category would be your short term and one category would be your long term. In a short term goal, it's really your hopes that are you think can be accomplished within 6 months. For the long term, it's going to take a little bit longer. So you kind of mentioned purchasing a home. Which category do you think that would fit in?
I guess that would probably be a long-term goal.
Okay. And the credit card debt?
Again, another long-term goal. I've been working on that one for a while with no success.
Okay. The first one you mentioned was your savings. And
Yes.
how long are you, when are you hoping to achieve that?
That'd be a short-term goal, looking at, something in the, call it near future.
Okay. Do you have an amount in mind that you would like?
Yeah, I'd like to do $1,000.
Okay. So just so we can focus on one goal and kind of work through the steps, we're going to use your short-term goal of setting up $1,000 savings plan. So really for a goal to be attainable, we kind of follow this little tool, create SMART goals. And SMART just stands for specific, measurable, able to be reached, relevant, and time-bound. So in regards to specific, you kind of already mentioned that you had thought about setting a goal of $1,000.
Right.
Correct, in under 6 months.
Mm-hmm.
So that again would also be measurable. So specific, $1,000 under 6 months, measurable, simply in the amount you're wanting to see.
Looks like I'm on the right track.
It does. Do you feel like that's an attainable goal for you in 6 months?
I think so. If I put together the right plan, and hopefully with your help, I can do that.
Great. Also relevant. I mean, these are your goals. So these are things that are important to you. And so time bound, this is more of like, is there a deadline? And you mentioned that you want to do it in 6 months. Is that a necessity or is that a personal goal? Personal time stamp you're doing?
Personal goal.
Okay, great. So just kind of going over that, we kind of covered hit all the major steps in the SMART plan. So we move on to step 3, which is like the actual action plan. This is kind of where you look at what tools you need and in order to accomplish this goal, like what's going to help you. And we can kind of go and track that on this next page right here. Is there anything that you can think of that would help you as you kind of work towards this goal?
Think of it such as what?
So for an example, if you're wanting to set aside money for savings, what about looking at maybe tracking your current spending and seeing where you have extra money at? So that could be an action step, is to baseline, start a spending tracker and setting aside, there's lots of different ways to do this. We can actually get pen and paper, or also just maybe even do an app. And so that would be a good idea in order to just get a baseline of where you're at and where you can cut down expenses in order to set stuff aside.
Okay.
Have you ever done a spending tracker before?
I have not.
Okay. Awesome. Well, so we can kind of go back to that. Anything else you can think of that would be beneficial for you as you kind of work towards this goal of setting aside $1,000 in the next 6 months?
Anything beneficial? Sorry, about what? Like as far as
just resources or any tools or anything that you would help you accomplish that goal.
Okay. I mean, just know kind of, I guess, I think doing the spending tracker, it sounds like it's similar to a budget, I guess.
Yeah.
And then trying to set aside some, what is it? Make more, spend less.
Sure. Absolutely. Sounds simple enough, right?
Right.
Okay. So basically the next and kind of the final step on this process is really just to set out a weekly target. And right here we can have an example of what that looks like. Just kind of the simple math on it would be if you save $50 for 6 months to start an emergency savings plan, it would take 24 weeks. So about, and this is kind of like the breakdown of that. So this would, I guess, once you know your budget, and once you set your budget, and we can kind of go over that next, you would be able to kind of do the math, and we can break down those numbers and really see what, how much you need to set aside and what would be a beneficial. So actually I have a calculator right here. If you would like to kind of plug in the numbers and we can get that started. If you're wanting to save $1,000 in the next 24 weeks, about how much would you need to save per week?
Let me plug that in. Looks like about $41.67.
Okay, so it would be a number that you're comfortable setting for a goal.
I mean, so I think that's, yeah, if that's that, setting aside that for a week.
Okay.
I think that's, let's say $45 and then if I get off track maybe. Or
yeah, give you a little bit of leeway.
A little bit of cushion. It's
Absolutely.
always nice to have more, right?
Mm-hmm. Okay, so that $45 for the next 24 weeks, kind of give you a little bit above your goal and hopefully kind of give you a little bit of cushion as we're kind of starting this process. So
Try
yeah.
to be an overachiever.
Great. So yeah, so again, once you kind of know what you need to set aside each week, it'll be much easier to attain this goal. So starting with your budget and kind of getting a plan. As you're kind of brainstorming, are there any ideas that you have on what you're going to be cutting back on?
Yeah, that's what I was just looking at this with this calculator. So $45 a week. I mean, if I cut out Starbucks 7 days a week, I mean, that almost gets me there right there, because all I need to do is about $6.43 a day.
Okay.
So that's great news. It's exciting.
Yeah. And then once you get kind of started on this next plan, you can work towards your second goal, since you now are familiar with the goal setting tools.
Perfect. I appreciate your help.
Okay. Well, if there's anything else I can do for you as we kind of work through this, I'm happy to help. Just let me know.
Well, thank you so much. I appreciate your time.
Okay.